Welcome to the Whole Journey Podcast, a podcast where we as women are healing our lived experiences. This first episode will be an introduction of us and what you can expect on the podcast. So we'll jump right in with introductions. Meketia, if you want to introduce yourself.
Hi, I am Meketia. I am a mother, a wife, and I am a licensed marriage and family therapist here in the state of Arkansas. So what you are going to get from me is a whole lot of information on blending and relationships. I want you to know, like, hey, these are the lessons that we've learned, and these are the things that we did, what we should have done. So that's what you're going to get from me. So a lot of, yeah, I did that, and I learned from it. But you ain't got to do what I did.
Okay, Tanisha.
Okay, my name is Tanisha. I am a single mother of one. I'm an entrepreneur, a project manager, and yeah, so I am going to be giving y'all the single perspective. We're going to talk a lot about my dating life. That's going to be the topic of discussion, but also just, navigating life as a single mother and on my journey. With this whole journey, we're going to give y'all, all of us, the good, the bad, the ups and downs, and we're just going to take y'all on this ride with us. So,
okay. Well, I'm Breonna. I am a wife and I'm a mother. I have a blended family as well. I have a bonus daughter and I have a very, very rambunctious 1-year-old. I am also an entrepreneur. I'm a general contractor. So a lot of my journey will be about talking about being in this new space that I'm in as a double minority and figuring it out and being stretched a lot and just the vulnerability of it all and the transparency. So, yeah, come along with us, like Tanisha said, on this journey. So I guess we can get into what made us start this podcast. I know for me, we have such good conversations, like just such genuine good conversations. And so many times we would be having conversations and I would be like, oh my God, like other people need to hear this.
right.
Yeah.
And for me, I'm like, we need to start a podcast because if we're going through this, if we're dealing with this, I know that we're not the only one.
Right.
And so I felt like that people could learn from us and they could probably relate and we can maybe through our struggles, maybe help somebody else out along the way. What about y'all?
No, I agree. And like you said, this will be like therapy. It's going to be broadcasted therapy,
Yes.
but this will definitely be therapy for us. And we hope so for y'all as well. And like Breonna said, we're going through this. We know we're not the only ones going through this and experiencing these things in life. So we hope that you guys can take something from our podcast and our whole journey and apply it to your own lives as well. So,
Right. I agree. This was actually on my vision board. Like, it was on my vision board. So I'm glad to see that it's actually happening within this year. I left out that I am a blended mom of six kids, ranging in age from 9 all the way up to 19. So it's quite a bit of things going on in my household. So that's the part that you'll hear about. How do you do it? How do you blend and have a successful career, a successful marriage? And, what are the hurdles? So you'll get that from us. I won't hold anything back because I'm learning and growing as the rest of us are. So you'll get that here.
Yeah, I agree a lot with you, Tanisha. You said therapy. I think that I know me personally, every time I talk to y'all, whether we're hanging out or we're talking on the phone or in the group chat, which we have a very, very lit group chat, it's a sense of therapy. Like I heal from these friendships. And I think that allowing other people to see how we process things and how we oftentimes check each other. Like,
Right.
no, you're wrong.
yeah, we have those hard conversations.
Yes.
Like, you don't want to hear this, friend, but
Yes.
you're
yes.
wrong.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think allowing other people to see that
Right.
it will help them. Because I think so often in, just throughout life, you have friendships that all of them not checks and balances. You know,
Right.
you have yes friends, and I can't say I have that. Like sometimes it's like I don't even want to call them because I don't want to hear what they have to say. So I know that when I'm calling, I'm like, okay, let me go and get ready because
Rip the Band-Aid off.
yes,
Yep.
yes. So I think that it really will be therapeutic for both us and for other people to see this.
And you have that idea, that myth of Black professional women cannot get along.
Yes,
We
yes.
get along just fine.
Yes.
And we do have the checks and balances in place. And my phone does go out a lot of times when Bree is talking. Legitimately going out. I get bad reception when she gets on the phone trying to tell me what to do. But we do need that. That's how we grow.
Yeah. And to go back to that, you said that Black professional women, because, you know, we see reality TV and we see the trashy friendships and how they argue. And, you know, y'all don't always say what I want to hear. But let's talk about how our relationships form. And it's just like, it feels like we've been lifelong friends, you know?
does.
And you were my friend. We were roommates in college, and then we met through our husbands. But then when we come together, it's just like
We've been knowing each other forever.
Yeah.
yes. I think that's the beautiful thing about it to me. That we were like, y'all were mutual friends, but you throw us in the mix together, and it's a time. It's a time.
We have a time every time.
Yes,
It's
yes,
almost like finding soulmates.
yes.
Because when we sit together and we talk, it's like, oh, you too.
Yes.
So I hope that we can connect on that level too, through the podcast.
Yes. I don't know. I've never thought about it that way, but that's good. You know, a soulmate can be more than just, you know, your boyfriend or your
The
spouse.
romantic side.
Yeah, like I definitely wholeheartedly believe you find your person. Like you find your people, I'll say.
Yeah.
I'm a Grey's Anatomy fan, and how, you know, Meredith and Christina is like, no, you're my person. Like that's a real thing. Like you find people that you click
They
with.
just get you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And even
And you
when
get
they
to do
don't
life together.
Yeah, and even when they don't get you, they're like, okay.
They still got you though. Even though they don't get you, they got you.
You being a little crazy right now, but I still love you.
Right,
And, you know, so I think that's the beautiful thing about it. So I guess, what does a whole journey mean to you? I know whole is an acronym, and I don't know if y'all caught that at the beginning, but whole stands for Women Healing Our Lived Experiences. But when you think about the whole journey, what does that mean? Or what does that look like, I guess?
So for me, whole is the whole thing. Like I said in the beginning, y'all going to be the ups, the downs, the good, the bad, the whole shebang. We're not leaving anything out.
Yes.
Like in totality, like the complete thing.
Yeah.
Whole.
Yeah.
We're not going to just show y'all the good part. We're not going to just tell y'all about the happy times, because that's not life.
Yes.
And so we want to be as authentic as possible with you guys. So I feel like that's what whole is to me, the whole thing, leaving nothing
I
on the
agree.
table.
I agree. What about you? What do you think about when you think of the whole journey?
So the whole journey, when I think about it, is just like Tanisha said, in totality. So we are healing. That means a progressive journey of learning, growing, developing, being accountable to other people, not hiding who we really are behind the facade, you know, behind the makeup and the wigs.
Yeah.
But giving you who we really are, the mistakes that we make, and being honest and candid about it, so that we can bounce things off of one another and learn and grow. So our lived experiences are everything we've been through.
Yeah.
All the trauma, all the drama, because they go hand in hand, and everybody has experienced trauma, no matter how severe or I guess you told me one time that you were told, because your trauma was not to the degree of somebody else's, you were minimizing it. And we've all experienced that. So this is a space where we don't have to minimize.
Yeah.
We can be our full authentic selves in front of the cameras and see what happens in a year or in 2 years.
Yeah. For me, I think journey, I think about just like kind of like you said, just putting it all out there. I think we live in a society now where social media, people show you what they want you to see.
Right.
And I'm a real big TikTok girl. Like, I love TikTok. Probably too much. But I just
want to be TikTok.
I love TikTok. I mean, everything, the ASMRs, like I love TikTok. But you think about like the people with the clean houses. I'm like, so it makes me wonder, like, is your house never messy? You know, like, does your refrigerator always look like that? And it can make you feel like you're failing. Like, I don't know about y'all, but me, I'm like, okay, I can set my refrigerator like this, but with my husband, like, he gonna come in and he gonna get him some juice. I don't care how I have it organized. He's gonna come behind it, and you begin to compare yourself.
Yeah,
right.
But I think it's because people see it's content. You know what I'm saying?
They create that false narrative.
Yeah, they show you what they want you to see, and I think that we live in a society of that, and so. I just want it to be so real and so transparent, because I know for a fact that we are all walking testimonies. Right. And we're all figuring it out. I just think you never get to a place where you have it all figured out. And like you said, healing in itself is constant. So healing goes along with the journey. And so that's kind of what it means to me. My next question was, what do you think will be different about this podcast? But I think we kind of
touched on it just
kind of touched on it.
We're going to be authentic. Like, we're putting ourselves out there. Yeah. And
it's tough.
Yeah, it's tough. We're going to have some hard conversations. Y'all going to see us laugh. Y'all going to see us cry.
Oh, yeah.
And one thing about it, we're going to cry.
If I don't do anything else, I'm going to cry.
We're going to cry. And we're going to laugh. For sure. We're going to laugh while we're crying.
Yes.
But I think the thing that's going to set us apart from a lot of other is that we're authentic. And we're going to be ourselves.
So, what you see is what you get.
Exactly.
Pretty much. We can dress it up. We can put the makeup on. We can make sure the hair is nice. But with me, y'all know, they might not even see a makeup Brie every podcast. Because sometimes I just don't feel like it. You know, like, I want them to see it's a journey, you know, and some days you don't feel like putting on the makeup and putting on the shapewear, and that's a whole nother conversation, because Keita I am the guru.
I am the guru.
She is the advocate for all things shapewear. So, but sometimes you just don't feel like it, you know, and I just don't want it to feel like, you know, we glammed up our lives, because it's not always glam.
No.
It's not always glam. We have a lot of tearful conversations. A lot of, I don't know if I want to do this anymore. A lot of, I can't see past this. I know for me, it's a lot of that. Like, I want to give up, you know?
Yeah.
We talk each other off the ledge.
Oh, yeah.
Constantly.
Definitely. Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah. Constantly.
Yes, definitely. In all aspects, you know, as wives, as mothers, as in our careers. And I think we also push each other.
Yes.
Not all the time. You know, it's not always wanted, but it's like
needed.
Yeah, needed.
Very much so.
And we hold each other accountable. Like, you said you was gonna do this, so what's up?
Right. That's you for sure.
I feel like you talking about me though.
But she just said that's you for sure.
Like, if you have something you want to do, and you're not for sure, don't bring it to Bree unless you know for sure you want to do it, because you're like, okay, so you said you want to do this. You said you want to go to law school, okay? Here go the LSAT prep. When we're taking a test. Here goes the schools, application open now. Yeah. Like, you are definitely that friend who's going to push. But I think we all are that friend that's going to push, but definitely you are. Yeah, don't bring anything to you unless you for sure want to do it.
You want me to write your resignation letter?
Right,
today?
yeah.
You know, I've seen it in.
I always keep a good resignation letter on standby, because it's like, I'm just a believer in, not saying, you know, if it's something you don't want to do, quit, but it took me a long time to get to a place of peace, I think. And so I'm just a firm believer. Like, I tell people all the time, like, you are at a job, you're stressed out. And you stress yourself to the point of no return. If something happens to you, what do you think is going to happen? The next day, your job is going to be posted, and they're going to be looking for the next person to stress out. And I just think that life is so short that while you're here, it's important to not only live out your purpose, but to be happy as much as possible and have not even so much happiness. I'll say peace. Have peace. And so I'm. Don't call me if you want to quit your job, because
we're doing it today.
Today,
here, I got one drafted.
What's your boss email?
Yeah.
What's your boss email?
Yes, because it's just like we got stuff to do. We got stuff to do, and it didn't help. We went to Woman Evolve. Shout out to Pastor Sarah Jakes Roberts, and we went and got our life. Like, we knew before going that we wanted to do this. And we got there and was looking at each other kind of like,
confirmation.
Yeah. Oh, so much
that
confirmation.
Fire in our belly, like we had to birth something.
Yes.
Here we are.
Yes. And so that, even there, you learn about your purpose, or even if you don't learn about your purpose, I feel like you learn how to navigate finding your purpose.
Yeah, I agree.
And so I think it's a book called Purpose Driven Life. I don't know who the author is, but I believe that, like, you are supposed to fulfill your purpose. Like, God put you here for a reason, and it may not be your 9 to 5. It may be your 9 to 5, but if it's not, why are you sitting somewhere being unpeaceful or unhappy, miserable? I think we've pretty much kind of covered it. We cover what other people can expect to get, but what do you expect to get from this, from podcasting, from putting it all out there, from this journey? What do you expect to get from it?
I hope to become more comfortable with putting myself out there, because this is not something that I typically do. I'm a therapist. I'm used to listening to other people and helping them, live their best life or figure out the solutions. And so it's rarely me in the hot seat, so to speak. So I'm hoping to grow in that way, with being comfortable with putting myself out there more. And just to work through some things, because so much of what I've learned about myself, I gather in these moments of reflection. And so as we talk on the podcast, I'm hoping to just discover new me, new goals, new purposes, new things that can be birthed, and just a new zest for life, like that energy that's so necessary to accomplish all the things that God put in us, because we have so many different passions. And so direction is key to knowing what to pursue and when.
I agree. Go ahead, Bree.
Okay. Well, for me, I've always been a talker. From as long as I could talk, probably. Like, I was the kid who, I made straight A's, but the progress report was going to say excessive talking. So I knew that talking was tied to my purpose. Like, my mom used to tell me all the time, like, you going to do something, you're going to grow up and do something with that mouth. Because not only did I talk a lot, I had a smart mouth. I thought I always had to have the last say. And I'm still working on that.
Yeah.
But
She working on that.
I am working on that. I'm working on it, husband. But I knew it's going to be something. And so I'm excited to be able to talk in a way that I hope it helps other people. Because anybody can get on, you can get on TikTok or Facebook Live or Instagram Live. You can get on there and talk anytime you want to, but I want to talk with a purpose, and a purpose of not only healing myself, but helping others. If one person can hear me and say, you know what, I went through that, or I'm going through that, I'm in that now, and I didn't think that there was a way out, but now I see that there's somebody else. Because so often when you're in something, or you're going through something, you feel like you're the only one. You feel like nobody understands. Nobody has ever gone through this. Nobody will ever go through this. And I promise you that there is somebody that has either gone through it or they're going through it now. And so for me to just be able to walk in my purpose, but also help others, I think is what's going to be so
what you said, though, you know, either they've gone through it, they're going through it right now, or they're going to go through it.
Oh, yeah.
And they can look back and like, I remember on the Whole Journey podcast, they talked about this and didn't know how to approach it and tackle it. So I think that's good too.
Yeah. I don't know. For me, being the youngest, I turned 30 this year. And my word for 30 was freedom. And I feel like for so long, I have kind of held myself hostage, you know, kind of like I knew what I was supposed to be doing and I knew what my purpose was, but I shied away or I ran away from it as long as I could. And so now I'm here and I'm free and I'm ready to talk and I'm ready to share and I'm ready to do what God has planned for me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good.
So I'm kind of like Keita. I'm more behind the scenes, more reserved, and I don't really put myself out there like that. So from this, I hope to just gain like a newfound confidence to put myself out there, to be an inspiration to others who are going to go through, have been through the same things that I'm going to experience. You know, my story is a little different from y'all's. I'm not married. I am single. So, and I'm a single mother. And so I hope that this...
Of a young black boy.
Of a beautiful young black boy. So I hope that from this journey on this podcast that I can not only learn, you know, things about myself, but I can help somebody else learn and grow through the things that they're going through.
And I may or may not have promised that I was not going to cry on this first episode, but just even your story, like just you wear it so well, you know, just everything, you know, how you were raised, how you grew up, everything you've experienced in life. You are a bomb career professional, you know.
Yeah, thank you.
And so just you have something definitely that I think that a lot of people can grow from, even if they feel like the dating pool is polluted right now.
It's poo.
even if that's their story, you know, kind of navigating how to date with purpose.
That's the big thing. That's going to be one of our topics: dating with purpose and dating as Christians.
Oh yeah,
as a Christian and dating in this society. Like I said, it's poo in the water. But yeah, like dating in your 30s.
Yeah,
it's totally different than dating in your teens and your early 20s. So that's going to be another story all in itself. Like, I'm trying to be married tomorrow. But while I'm on this journey, you know, with God, with my friends, with my family,
and I'm not.
It's a journey.
I will not. I'm not. Listen, I will not play matchmaker anymore.
Yeah, we're done with that.
Because I was matchmaker and I was a horrible Cupid.
It's okay.
But it's okay.
You want it.
I just want my friend to be happy, and she deserves happiness and she deserves love. And I may or may not.
She tries to guide Junior.
Yes. That is a fitting name. That is a fitting name.
I'm done with it. I'm free from that.
But like I said, you have good intentions.
This your freedom year.
Yes, it is. It
Free
is.
of matchmaking.
I am, because I am a horrible. Find somebody else to do it.
Yeah.
Gladly.
With no reservation, no hesitation.
Yeah, I'm free from that. You know, I will listen. But my matchmaking
days are over.
History is not. I will not add that to the resume.
It's okay.
But you got so much other stuff to add to the resume. You don't need that one.
Yeah.
You don't need that
We're
one.
gonna leave that one to him.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Proudly, because I just okay. What questions do you have for us?
No, I want to know. So we're talking about where we are today.
Mm-hmm.
Where were you this time last year?
Ooh.
What's been the growth from this time last year to now? What's different about you?
Oh, for me, so much. So much.
This is a preview of the journey, y'all.
Ooh.
This is the preview. 1 year.
Yeah.
What's happened in a year?
Whoa, so much. This time last year, like I mentioned in my introduction, I have a blended family. I have a bonus daughter who is 12 years old, but I also have a 1-year-old who is if you
Awesome.
know her,
Amazing.
you know.
Amazing. Awesome. Great.
And so this time last year, I had just my daughter was born 6 weeks early, and so she was in the NICU. She stayed in the NICU for a little over 30 days, and I had just not too long brought her home, and so I was learning to be a new full-time mom. We had gone through so much. We had to move. That's a whole nother long story. We ended up moving, and I was in an uncomfortable space. I remember talking to my husband about we needed to find a house. We need to find a home. We had just been all over the place throughout the year before. And so I was a new mom. I was scared out of my mind because I thought I was prepared. I'm a planner. I'm very we all are planners. And so I don't always do well when my plan
With uncertainty.
no, I don't do well with uncertainty at all. But when my plan does not go
As planned.
I'm not always the happiest Bree, and I did not plan to have her 6 weeks early, and I did not plan to have to move when we did, and that's what it was. And I knew at that time that I wanted to start this business that I have now, but I was still in the licensing process to become a general contractor, and I was scared out of my mind about it. Because I'm like, this is a new space for me. There are not too many contractors that look like me. I don't even, if I look back, I don't even know if I recognize myself a year ago.
Yeah.
It feel like a blur.
Yeah.
It does.
Yeah. And even to reflect back, like that was hard. I'm like, whew. So much has changed in a year. But that was me. But what about you?
It's crazy that you asked that, Keita, because I remember like a couple of days ago, I was just driving home and like I was just, I just had to thank God of where I am today, because where I am today, I could not have imagined.
Yeah.
The growth that I have experienced emotionally, just valuing myself, knowing my worth. Like we're talking about just last year.
Yeah.
And it,
Had you moved? Yeah.
I had just moved, and that was another thing. I had just moved away from my family, away from my safety net,
Yeah.
and I was scared,
out of your mind.
crying. As soon as I moved in, I was crying. I was like, "Yeah." As soon as this 1 year lease up, I'm going back home. Like it was tough, but now where I am today, it's just like I want to go back, because I wouldn't be where I am today had I not stepped out on faith and took that step, because it forced me to grow. And over this past year, I have, like you said, I'm recognizable from who I was last December, last November, like, and I'm so proud of myself though. Like I'm so proud of who I am and how far I've come, and the things that I won't tolerate anymore. Things that I used to tolerate, things that I used to allow, ain't no way.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not allowing that because I'm not that same Tanisha anymore.
That's good.
So,
What about you?
That is rich. That is rich.
What about you?
Okay, so what you're going to learn about me is I like safety. Like I lock in. And so this time last year, I had taken a job. I had taken a job that I probably shouldn't have been at, but hey, I was there. And it was becoming painful to go because as I'm telling God, this is what I want my life to look like, I'm also acting in a way that my life definitely won't look like what I want it to look like. So entrepreneurship for me, it was a scary space, although it had been prophesied like so long ago. I was looking, you know how you look behind you like, oh, he must be talking to somebody else. He ain't talking about me. Entrepreneur, nah, I like a salary. So I started working for an agency, and it was just like, you can't be the kind of therapist you want to be here. Mm-hmm. And I tried to do entrepreneurship for a little bit, but it just, I couldn't make it work financially for my family. So I went back into a salary position, and this is about that time where it was getting uncomfortable, where it was like God was just highlighting, this is not where you should be. Mm-hmm. And nothing is going to work out for you while you're right there.
Yeah. But let me tell you, I'm a living testimony, and I tried to warn sister girl over here. I tried to warn her before she just got dumped, like kicked and dumped. Like, look, when you are in a place that God does not mean for you to be, He will allow you to get so uncomfortable.
Yes.
And then sometimes it's just like for me, I don't have the story of, I always knew I wanted to be an entrepreneur. I planned it out. And no, I left a job where I had a fairly good salary, and I took a pay cut to follow what I thought was a lifelong dream, to get into education and be a teacher. And I thought that becoming a teacher was going to give me job security. Mm-hmm. You know, I'm like, okay, they need teachers so bad, like, I know for sure this will be set. And I literally get laid off.
Before the school year.
I mean, like, where are they laying out teachers? Like, and
when the brook dry up, the brook dries up. It just ain't meant for you right there.
Listen.
And so I've just now gone back into entrepreneur space, like as recently as July.
Yeah.
So even after I was miserable, it still took me another 7-8 months. I don't learn lessons very quickly. I like my safety net, but I'm just now getting back out into entrepreneurship. Still at an agency, but I'm slowly coming out.
You putting your toe in the water.
Yes.
Ooh, you gotta put that foot in.
Yes.
Or he gonna make you. Like, you will either put your foot in, you go get yanked, like, you know, when you're a little kid and you trying to test the pool, and then you have your mean older cousin just come and push you. Ooh, you'll get pushed.
Yeah.
You will get pushed, won't you?
Yeah.
I tried to warn you.
I got pushed. Done skipped my knees. Hurt.
Was not ready.
But that's not ready, though.
Yeah.
Because you start trying to bargain with God, like, I can still do this and this. I was working a 6-day-a-week work week.
Oof.
Notes backed up, like.
And I'm looking at her like, what are you like? You managing, getting up at 5 a.m., trying to work out, leave workout, go to first job, get out first job, go to second job, get out second job, come home and be a wife and a mother, and go to sleep and get 3 hours of sleep and get up and do it all over again. Where do you do that at?
Running on fumes, because when I tell you, when God said He wants you to live an abundant life, that is not what He was talking about. That was me trying to work that jelly. I was working my jelly.
And I was just tired looking at you. Like, it would be...
Nah, she was tired of me calling her on the road, like, somebody got to talk to me this 40 minutes home.
Listen, it got to the point, I'm like, oh, well, it's Tuesday. Keita won't be done with work till 9:30. It's Thursday. She ain't gonna be done to 10. Like, super late hours. I just, like I said, it goes back to that. I just don't believe that's the life that God wants for me. Like, I need peace my piece is expensive, you know.
Yeah.
Priceless.
And that piece may come with a pay cut at first.
At first.
At first. But sometimes it's about you just trusting God, you know? Because you get out there and then when I tell you he can blow your mind, I am a living testimony of it. And I tried to warn you. I'm like, look, if you're uncomfortable, it may mean it's time. You know, I'm trying to bring you into the water slowly. It may mean it's time for you to do something different. You like, yeah, okay. Then the guy said, okay.
She ain't leaving fast enough.
You ain't gonna move. I'm gonna make you move.
Yeah.
How about that?
He'll do it.
So I just, but the last year, man.
But I think what they can see from hearing all of us is that when we talk about healing, there's a space in there where we all feel super insecure with change.
Yes.
We're not knowing what's next.
Yes.
And we will hold on for dear life to what we know is not working because we are afraid of what could potentially work or not work, but we can't see it.
Yeah.
So Pastor talked today about building faith. Y'all rolled over my toes with like diesel tires.
Ooh.
It just wasn't even pretty.
Yeah.
But it was true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We like what we know. Well, we may not even like what we know, but we're afraid of what we don't know.
And he was talking about capacity.
Yeah.
And at the end of the service, like, God does this thing where he talks to me. Sometimes, most of the time when he talks to me, it's stuff that I don't even want to hear. I'm like, okay, like, just let me, I'm just sitting here minding my business. But this time it was something so good. It was like, you thought, like, if you could have broke, you would have broke by now.
Whoa.
And it's not a breaking. It was never a breaking. It was a stretching. And the stretching was to stretch you into capacity. And that just was like, I was like, whoo, okay, it's all making sense. Because I told y'all, and I tell them, like, when we were at Woman Evolve, and I was just kind of going back and forth, kind of arguing with God, like, why me? Like, I never signed the sheet or enlisted to be your strongest soldier. Pick somebody else. I don't even know if I want to be in the army of the Lord. Find something else. Find something else for me in the office. Give me like some administrative duties. But not only did you put me in the army of the Lord, you thought that I was supposed to be your strongest soldier. And I never signed up for this. And I'm like, why me? Like, why me? And I literally almost fell on my face. And if you were at Woman Evolve, you know it was in the Globe Life. We up in the stand. You can't fall on your face. But I wanted to because he was like, it had to be you. And that, like, literally felt like it knocked the wind out of me. Like, it had to be you. Like, it, for whatever reason, because of who you're connected to, because of your legacy, because of what I have planned for you, it had to be you. And I ain't like that.
Yeah.
I don't like it now. I tell y'all all the time. Lord, get somebody else, find somebody else to do it. You know, but here we are. So I think
Doing it.
Here
we are doing it.
And it ain't always pretty. And it's never easy. Never easy. But we doing it. We figuring it out along the way. What you got to say?
I don't have anything to say.
I saw you
I'm receiving it all.
I just think, but that was a good question because you think about the last year and even before that, and it makes you grateful.
Yeah.
But I think it's even more evident of a journey.
I agree.
So, you got more questions for us, therapists?
I want to know, what's your guilty pleasure? What do you do that is quote unquote self-care, but it's like your guilty pleasure? You just you want to do it, you got to do it.
I hide in the bathroom and watch TikTok. Like, unless you are a mother, you don't know the value of hiding in the bathroom. Like, sometimes, like, we get home and I'm just like, I'm going to the bathroom. And I hide in the bathroom and I can literally watch TikTok as long as Reggie and Remy can stand each other. Like, I hide. And that's my way to decompress. Like, it just, and by now, like, my algorithm is set to what I want to see. I want to see clean houses. I want to, I want to see outfits and fashion, and I want to see funny stuff. That's my guilty pleasure. I hide and watch TikTok.
I don't know. Kitty, what's yours?
I can relate to the hiding when you can hide.
Yes.
Because there's going to come a day
Where you
where the bathroom won't even be safe.
Oh, it's not. It's not. She like climbed up the toilet like a spider monkey last night, like because she wanted me to pick her up. I'm like, can I just go to the bathroom, sis? Like I'm out here trying to survive, and so yeah, I can already attest to that.
I think mine would be a bag of hot fries or some for like fresh baked cookies. I bake a lot. Hot fries, baked cookies in the bed with a movie.
Mm-hmm.
But I also, everywhere I pull up to, I don't get out of my car immediately. I sit there for a second and I just
Me too. And my sister judges me about that. Like, let me guess, you at home sitting in the car. I do that. If I'm by
It's a safe
myself,
space.
I need time to collect my thoughts before I have to go in the house and be a
Right.
wife or
Right.
be a mother.
Yeah.
I just need that time. I do that a lot too. What you be doing?
I love a nap. Baby, I love to sleep. And
too.
I'm going to take a nap.
That's a guilty pleasure.
Yeah.
I'm like Cardi B. When I'm up, I'm up. I'm up.
I'm up. When I'm up. Nah, I like a
can't
good
take
nap.
a
too.
nap.
I love a nap.
I love naps. I don't get to take them as often as I used to, but one thing about me, I'm gonna go to sleep. Whether I'm on vacation, whether give me a second to take a nap and get myself together first. That was a good question.
Ain't you be tired?
Yeah, I definitely 30s kicking my butt, boy. I'm
We
not
the TTs now.
Yeah, for sure. So, but I think this was good. Just a slight introduction to us and what they can expect to get. I will say, Keita, I feel like you're gonna be our voice of reason because
We'll have you in the ditch.
yeah,
Blind leading the blind.
between us retired city girls, we are definitely the blind leading the blind for sure.
Yeah.
And Keita comes in and like, well, I wouldn't take that approach, but
Yeah.
You know how your mama used to be like, if your friend jump off a bridge, you gonna jump off too?
absolutely.
I'm like, we gonna hold hands and jump.
Yes, we jumping together. Yes, and so we going to do something stupid.
Yeah.
I'm the driver. Take a nap.
Take a nap.
So you well rested when we get there. Yeah. So definitely, Keita is our voice of reason because we just be like, okay. And sometimes we your voice of reason too.
Oh yeah. Yeah, definitely. You gotta have a voice of reason. I mean, I'm on the struggle bus in parenting. I have a teenage daughter. So
And we love her.
yes. For the most part.
We love to hold her.
Yeah, we love her.
Because
That's
she
my
is on a
girl.
whole journey
She is.
in another direction.
She is. She is. We love her.
Yeah, so they are my voice of reason with her.
We save her a lot.
A lot.
More than she know.
Yep.
Your first check when you get a job, you owe it to me.
Yeah. Big time. Because you be on the chopping block with me a lot.
Yes.
A lot.
Yes. But I think this was good and I'm excited.
Me too.
I'm excited to take them on this journey with us. And before we go, real quick, our logo has the scripture Psalms 52:8. And we were coming up with a name and it was the whole journey. And we talked about kind of like just flourishing. I feel like that's where we all are. We're in a season of flourishing. And so we included Psalms 52:8. And I promise you, we're not going to preach to you every podcast because sometimes we need preaching too.
Yeah.
But just to kind of give some context, Psalms 52:8 says, "But I am like an olive tree flourishing in the house of God. I trust in God's unfailing love forever and ever." And for me, I think that's a lot of times that's all I got. That's all I got is God's love. When it gets tight and hard, that's all I got to hold on to. So I think that's a good what the old folks used to say, an anchor scripture for us. Yeah. And that's a good way for us to end today. We just hope that you go on this journey with us and that something we say along this journey helps you. We would love to connect with you. If you have any questions, feel free to email us, drop comments, ask questions, especially ask the therapist. Because, we are strong advocates of therapy.
Yes, we are.
We believe in going to church and going to therapy.
Yes, because you can
Jesus
do both.
plus therapy.
Yes.
Jesus plus therapy.
For sure. So ask the therapist.
And maybe even some meds.
Ask. That too. Yeah. Ask the therapist. Ask the single mother with a wonderful testimony that they'll grow to learn.
Y'all hear it.
Ask the entrepreneur. Ask us. We are open book. We want to help you because we all need help. So until next time, I'm Breonna.
I'm Meketia.
I'm Tanisha.
And this is the Whole Journey Podcast.